Hello, colonists. This is Friendly Slycon, and that's Shadow. We're here for another game of Surviving Mars, and we have a new rocket that we send to Mars. And so we have a few basic supplies we want to get. For example, machine parts. We were running a little bit low, and I want a whole bunch of moisture vaporizer. This is going to be how we kind of make our money. How many can I? Or should? It's going to take us like. I don't want to spend all my money. I think that's pretty good. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we need? Want? If we get another fuel refinery, we can get the turnover faster. We could also consider machine parts factory, which I am very happy to do. Yeah. We'll get the rocket going. As we're waiting for our rockets to go off in their expedition and to come back to Mars, I said I would talk a little bit on comfort. In fact, I want to grab just one. So, all colonists, if you kind of hover over when you have them selected, will generally have 3. They will occasionally have more if they're traits. For example, the enthusiast or the gliding trait is adding dining. So they have 4. Their big kind of 3 interests are relaxation, shopping, and social. Most of your colonists are going to have 2 of those traits. I think there's one exception. And then depending on their specialization, they'll have one other. So for example, botanists will have the luxury one. At night when they sleep, so there's also 3 shifts. During the 3 shifts, they'll sleep for one of them, they'll work for one of them, and they'll try and hit generally 2 interests during their free time. When they sleep, if their comfort is lower than the residence comfort, they get the residence. So if they're lower than 60, they would become 60. Now, when they go out to actually do one of their traits, so for example, if they go to the diner to do dining, social, food, and their comfort is below their service comfort, so in theory, this building will never raise their comfort because they should be at 60 to begin with. They come to here, they satisfy their thing, they don't go up in comfort, but they don't go down. If they can't do it, they'll go down. I think, and if it is higher, they should go up. And I think one of the mods that I had made it easier to see how it changed, like what they got. I don't see it, so maybe not. So generally you're kind of capped on how high your comfort can go based on the service comfort of these buildings. Unless this is it. Yeah, up to that. But if they go back and they're higher, they just stay higher. The other thing is, so you can kind of get higher by toggling the workloads. And I'll just kind of quickly touch base on the other ones. Health, they get a penalty for overworking, starving, dehydration, so if they can't meet any of the needs. Sanity, disasters, workloads, working outside and working at night. We touched on comfort. One other thing is they all have, in addition to the
sector scan,
the interest
anomaly
down
found.
here, there's another secret one, which is food. So if they use one of these food buildings doing one of their other interests, so shopping social dining, they'll also get their food. And then morale, it's kind of the hardest one to affect because it's really based on events, and if it goes generally up when they have things in the green. But if the morale drops too low, they'll become a renegades. That's how you get renegades. And if we kind of hover on the dome overall for our comfort, you can kind of see that there are a few needs we're not meeting. If you do have a building that does is meeting the needs and you still see it, it generally means a workload for one of these like times you've overloaded that building. And they only kind of do those randomly, so it might only be for soul. So if you only have a few, it's not too big of a deal to worry about that. But if you see a lot, then you can start thinking about placing more buildings down. I also kind of want to level this out, because I just want like a whole array of domes eventually. So we'll get that going. I kind of want to keep that. Go a little bit into it.
Resources are low.
We have machine parts on our way, so we should be good. The other thing is we have we have an event, Spy Games. Spy Games. An applicant slated to come to a colony has been listed as a desired applicant by a rival colony. Well, obviously by mistake. This presents us a golden opportunity to infiltrate the colony of the USA, perform both espionage and sabotage. We'll just pass. It's not quite a big deal. We do have access to down here. We can send our explorer. Excellent. But this is kind of going to be like a very long-term game where all these resources we have access to up here aren't going to last very long. So what are our renewable resources? Well, there's tourists to make a little money and then trade out. But we also have kind of water and any products based on water. So that's kind of why I got so many moisture vaporizers. They're going to be kind of our limiting resource. And if we have more water, we can have more domes in which we can have more tourists. But we can also then produce, say, polymers, food, and we can trade that off to the other colonies and kind of have this big trading network where we kind of use the renewable resources we can get and trade for the ones we can't get, which will eventually be concrete, metal, and electronics from Earth. Because generally the colonies do not trade electronics to you. They'll certainly happily take them from you. Oh, our explorer is needed, but we're kind of low on fuel, so fine. And just thinking kind of our layout, so if we kind of put it as far away as possible while hitting the vista, we'll make sure we kind of do like a nice array, keep them nice and close. I wonder if we can get like 6. So hey, don't build anything.
The readings told us it was a vein rich with ore, but the data turned out to be incorrect. Under those fine red sands lay the intact hull of a rover.
We immediately recognize it. Curiosity, a historic find that stretched its hands in a welcoming gesture through the years back to the first mission on the Red Planet. It belongs in a museum, but on the other hand, this is an opportunity to gain more parts that we could rarely get our hands on. It's a tough decision. No, it is. 10% on the social tree with the 10 times. This is a huge bonus to reduction in our research. You would not get you landed. Get our parts. Get our. We can get 5. It looks like maybe a small one. Oop. unless we put like a very small. Yes. So we could do something like this, and then put a passenger. Just kind of planning. I haven't used this before. And then
Sector
connect a whole
scanned.
bunch. This will get us a ton of room.
Anomaly analyzed.
So I think that might be what I do. Pretty cool.
There's more to the back.
Take a quick look at our text. We do want to eventually get a research dome up. Alright, we have some colonists or tourists leaving, so that should get us a few
Anomaly
money.
found.
And we also want to get our vaporator down. I kind of want to put it within range, even if we overlap a little bit, of the heater. So during the cold waves, we're all set for rover, but we can just kind of leave you in orbit for now. And I think this is going to be our big thing. And we'll kind of specialize each of these. One of these will probably be our tourist dome. This one will end up being our mining one. It's going to be a while until we can use the hydrocarbons, but we'll have one that is a farming one, or that makes, and then like a research one. And sorry, I'm just going to touch back. You can kind of then specialize some of the other service buildings based on what you're doing on the workers. So for example, if we have engineers, the trait that the engineers want are dining.
Resources are low.
So in that one, we definitely want to have more diners. The farming one, they want luxury, is the kind of their specialty. The scientists want gamers or gaming. Engineers want dining. Miners want alcohol. Scientists wants gaming. Luxury for fun. I think that's all of the specialties. Oh, and officers want fitness, which is the one you generally have the least amount. We need more concrete storage. And I want to turn on the fuel refinery too, now that we have the machine parts and now that we have more water coming in. We'll speed things up a bit. And like I've kind of said previously, when you're waiting on something, you should kind of be thinking of, hey, is there something more I should be doing? And that could be, we want to start thinking on, we could build one more of these. We can also start building this one out. So we're going to need more living complexes to get the poorest in. Are we missing anything? We could put a space bar in, which would cover the drinking and relaxation. I'll accept one of these mods. Adds in that you have to actually brew it, so we couldn't actually run it. So a casino complex would be really nice. But we need, this is interesting, we need the crystals for the casino complex. So we will need to get these underground crystals mined. Good to know, good to know. Are any of these off during...
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Our Explorer is currently in space. We'll get that once we land it. The dangers to our colony too, as we're kind of waiting, keep things a little bit sped up, are definitely the cold waves. We don't really have a good layout of our heaters, and we don't have a ton of spare water. Run it. In fact, we don't really have a lot of spaces in which to put more moisturizers down. We could put the hub down. I don't know how much, and get that started. What is the maintenance on it? That's why I wanted to check when it's concrete. It does use water and oxygen. Good to know. No. So maybe we wait on that. Oxygen's not a problem, but water is. Okay, so even at night, we're still in. We want to definitely get this one to Earth, get more tourists, get more people. And with more people, we can make more polymers.
Dust storm approaching.
Excellent. Okay, so we have a dust storm. Do we have enough water stored is the question. Probably not. We'll keep you on at night. 12 hours is actually not long enough, but we can definitely get our rocket going. We made a decent amount of money off of that. Get our other one landed before the dust storm. And get our explorer onto... Oh, we have a whole bunch. A little bit of the research. And
Sector scanned.
we'll have to see if we can actually make it through this dust storm. Okay, it's much shorter than I'm used to. We do only have... I meant to we'll definitely turn off our fuel refineries. A little tip too is during a dust storm, these turn off, but they will still be repaired by maintenance. So you're a little bit better off turning them off just before the dust storm.
Anomaly analyzed.
And then turn them back on right after. So we have another event related to the dust storm. Dust sickness. The colonist on the bed keeps coughing uncontrollably. That's the third such case since the dust storm started. The fine Martian dust be serious health hazard. We thought that our airlocks could handle it well enough, but this particular dust storm got the better of them. Some colonists have developed space sickness trait. They will take health damage during dust storms even when inside the domes. Our medical staff strongly recommends that we discharge those affected dust sickness from work so we can better manage them. We will do that. It's a very, the dust storm's almost over. And I think I forgot to mention too, the infirmary will also repair the health and the sanity of your colonists. Likewise, they get sanity for resting, but they can also get it from going to the infirmary. They cannot handle health damage caused by starvation, dehydration, and suffocation until those conditions are fixed. So if they have taken... Ooh, we are one less concrete. Good to know we're good on power. And this is going to hang out for quite a while too, because it's going to take us forever to get the scavenger tech. Okay, with the dust storm over now, we were actually pretty fine on water. Turn our fuel refineries back on. I'll leave you guys here. So, this was Fenris Lycon and Shadow signing out.